Hey, it's pretty much insane where we are already talking about this after only 3 matches, but here we are. So, first thing I want to say is I hope Ibrahimovic is enjoying his holidays because they're well deserved. He worked really hard. You cannot be in Rome to see Lazio Milan in times like this. He has to rest. Okay? And this should tell you enough what kind of person is Ibrahimovic. It's somebody that cares only about himself, and how much this management cares about the sporting part of AC Milan. Zero. Anyway, I want to know your opinion about this. So, would you fire Fonseca already, or would you keep him and see how it goes? I'm asking for your honest opinion. Let me know why you will fire him and why you will keep him. Our coach right now is a coach that is more famous for the memes than for the sports results. He's known for Zorro. He is known for doing 6 substitutions with Rome and losing the game by default. He's famous to have achieved the worst season in Rome in 50 years. Okay? This is Fonseca, but we knew this. We already knew how he could be in Serie A because his idea of football is hyper offensive, and that doesn't really work well in Serie A. We already saw this, but we chose him nonetheless because we chose mediocrity. And I ask you a question here. When was the last time that we had a proper coach, a top tier coach? I will read you now the list of our coaches in the past 10 years after Allegri. We had Seedorf, Inzaghi, Mihailovic, Brocchi, Montella, Gattuso, Giampaolo, Pioli, Fonseca. Reading this, it's unbelievable. Already 10 years passed with all the promises of AC Milan. The future is going to be great. Future. 10 years. We won 2 trophies. 2 trophies. 1 Scudetto. With Pioli, beautiful Scudetto. Still, it was a miracle. These coach ideas are a little bit confused. He said after the match, we cannot do the build-up from the bottom with Pavlovic. Okay, great. So why didn't you do something during the match? So Fonseca is pretty bad at reading the games, and then he went all in at minute 70 with all the possible changes that he could do. And we scored a very beautiful goal. And just a note for Leao. This is how Leao should play every game, not when he gets punished. Okay? Case closed. Now, the international breaks are coming in now. So I'm not a big fan of these because I want to watch usually Serie A. International breaks are pretty boring for me at least. But in this case, it can be a blessing for AC Milan. So what would a serious management do? A serious management would fire Fonseca and get Allegri, because you need to fix the season as soon as you can. Allegri's salary is high. Well, nothing to do about it. You have to pay it because we managed to screw up the only choice that you should not have screwed up, the coach. So we have 2 weeks. A serious management would fire Fonseca, right? And 2 weeks is enough to start building something new and give some hope to this season. The other way, that is the way that probably AC Milan will go, is to keep Fonseca and hope that in these 2 weeks he will fix the defense somehow and will be judged again after the derby. I mean, that's my guess, obviously. If we lose the derby badly again, I see no excuses, and the Fonseca out will start immediately, even if they kind of already started right now. So all the goals that AC Milan conceded in these past games are very similar, if not identical. A player goes on the right, where he finds Emerson Royal or Calabria, easily passes them, they cross, and there is no left fullback there to cover. And the center backs don't do a good job covering either. This happens because Fonseca plays with the fullbacks in a high position. So when we saw like when Emerson Royal is locked in defense, the left fullback is gone, and if we get a counterattack, the left fullback doesn't manage to come back in time. This is a purely a tactical problem, even though Emerson Royal and Calabria are what they are. This is more of a tactical thing. There is a huge lack of charisma on and off the pitch. He chose not to use Theo and Leao from the beginning. And while I can understand the choice for Leao, because we have people to cover for Leao, we have Pulisic, right? But then how do you replace Theo Hernandez? With Terracciano? No, thank you. I will keep Theo Hernandez, even if he's not in his best shape, even if he's being an asshole. I don't know. I don't care. You cannot do choices like this. Theo and Leao are our top players. They need to be protected, and I wish to see Theo and Leao with a top tier coach. I want to see that so badly. And I think they have much more to give, but they need a different type of coach. And the weird thing is that we understand that, but the management doesn't understand that. You know why? Because they don't care about football very much. They care about the spreadsheet and the financial side, because we don't have a sporting director. Okay, and the lack of a sporting director is palpable right now. I mean, they said they will have like 60 millions for the striker. Where are those money? Where did those money go? Gone? Because we got Morata, so you could save 40 millions. That's how it worked. And we saw the difference when Abraham came in. And Abraham did actually a good game. Was a good start. I have nothing to say to Abraham right now, so good for him, I guess. You see the difference with having a proper striker and not having a proper striker. And this is one of the reasons why we should change our module, our formation. We should play, as everybody is saying right now, even the journalists, with a 4-3-3, because we lack people to play for a 4-2-3-1. We cannot be hyper-offensive because we don't defend well enough. Fonseca is, I think, is confused, and he's being a little bit stubborn. What happens now? Do you still support Fonseca? As far as I'm concerned, really we do not have a choice, and we have a whole year ahead of us to enjoy AC Milan, right? So I don't know how much longer I can support Fonseca without calling the Fonseca out openly. For me, in my opinion, the best choice right now will be get rid of Fonseca, the same way you did with Gianpaolo, right? Gianpaolo was a mistake. They all agreed, like, yeah, we fucked up with this. Sacked. This should happen again. And I'm not a big fan of Allegri, as I'm not a huge fan of Conte, for what it's worth, right? But right now, a coach like Allegri will make a huge difference. It will be respected by the players as well. And it's funny also to see like Juve and Napoli, because we can see what we would have been, what we could have been in this season. Because, like it or not, while like Conte's Napoli had a pretty low start, they will get better for sure. And you can also sense the absence of a person like Maldini. Ibrahimovic is no Maldini, never will be. I respect Ibrahimovic as a player. As a manager, he's worth zero. You can see him by him going on holidays and posting about it. I mean, if you want to go to a holiday because you don't care, at least don't post on social network. That's the common sense. Common sense. He doesn't care because Ibrahimovic cares only about Ibrahimovic. And what happened to the seventh day of God? It's like, what happens to all this narrative that AC Milan is being created by God? And come on. Let's stop joking, please. Let's be serious. I don't think we have a bad team. I think our players are valid players. We have some top players. Uh, we definitely don't have a leader in the field either. I thought Maignan could be the leader. I don't see him leading the squad and like being always stuck in the goal, and you can never communicate with your teammates. It's pretty hard. I feel the lack of strong Italian players like Tonali that would be leaders and that would understand what Milan is, and that's why I feel the lack of Maldini, because Maldini put AC Milan above everything. He was always in Milanello. Teo Hernandez loved Maldini. Everybody loved Maldini because he was talking to them, like he was being like a father to them, right? There is no such figure right now in AC Milan. And no matter what the algorithms say, the head is the most important thing, because if a player doesn't feel loved, doesn't feel at home, doesn't feel included in a family, then the statistics can do only so much. AC Milan has been famous for being always been considered a family. One of the reasons why Ibrahimovic also wanted to come back to AC Milan as a player. And by the way, we won the Scudetto with Pioli thanks to Ibrahimovic, okay? Because he was basically leader on the field and off the field. And Ibrahimovic, the management, Elliot at the time, which is the same as Redbeard, by the way, didn't want Ibrahimovic because he's not resellable and has a high wage. This is the management, okay, that we have. It's the same. It's exactly the same. We were forced to get Ibrahimovic, and thank God we got Ibrahimovic because it changed our season like this. Totally different team with Ibrahimovic on the field, okay? We need to get those players instead of spending 20 millions for Emerson Royale, 20 millions for Musa, okay? Spend 40 millions for one good player and give him a good wage, because wages are very important in football, and if you want to keep winning, you have to raise wages, not lower them. You want to have a salary cap, it has to be the whole football movement that does as a salary cap. If you only do it, then the player will not come. And we didn't renew Hernandez and Maignan. Do they want to renew? If you were Hernandez or Maignan, would you renew your contract with AC Milan? I'll be honest, I will not, because I don't see a future. Anyway, let me know what you think as usual, and have a nice week. Ciao, ciao.